Give it up for my good friend Joe Fernandes, everybody.
What are you, battling her? Got this ping pong of crazy cackling broads up here. I'm glad you guys came out. You saw my name, Joe Fernandes. You're like, check this guy out. I'm amazing. Dad, you gonna come see me again?
Oh, we love you.
Oh, I love you too.
You're listening to All in Our Heads with Joe Fernandes and Mike Gaffney. Please enjoy the show.
Yo, we are live, and I don't know why my camera settings always change whenever I go live. It just goes,
because we need an entry. That's what we do.
we need a problem.
We need a problem.
We need
the program knows that. It's like, we'll help you.
Well, I'm gonna email these motherfuckers because this fucking program was expensive to be doing that shit.
And it fucks with.
Fucking fix it.
It just fucks with your camera settings.
Yeah, like I'll have my iris settings because
right.
You know, and then it's like, oh, let's go live. Let's blast it all out. Really, like iris is just blasting. My face looks red.
Right.
Like, what's the point of settings if your shit's gonna change my motherfucking settings every time we do it?
What's the point of saving settings?
Yeah, so maybe they got to do an update.
Maybe.
Mary, hey Joe Fernandes. Mary, you forgot. You got to say hello to me and Mike.
She knows what she's doing.
Oh, she's just fucking with us now.
She knows what she's doing. She's just trying to get into the conversation. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah. So yeah, playing that commercial for the CD before, the crazy cackling broads. I left that in there because it was just such a nice in the moment thing. I said.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Anytime you hear the word broad, I love it. I mean, that's a word I've been saying since I'm a kid. So I love the word. Anytime I hear the word broad, I don't care if it's offensive. I really don't. I'm not playing that game. Like, I hear you, man. Sucks. If you could show me, like, serious evidence of what kind of damage it does to your soul, then maybe I'll stop. But
especially
if all it is...
when we say it.
Yeah, you could tell it's coming. I mean, come on. I did that.
Yeah, what?
I did that podcast last week or whatever, the lying one, and I was like, I don't know why I said it. So I was like, he came with his broad, and the guy and his friend brought a broad, and you could just see the looks on their face, like, is he just saying broad? Is that how he talks?
It is funny when you say it sometimes when it slips out unironically.
Yeah, well,
like
I say it all the time.
In regular conversation, like when you're around people that you're not supposed to almost be using that word, you're like, oh, he's hanging out with a couple broads, and they're like,
well, let me tell you something.
All right, Lefty, what do we do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you want from me. I'm really a good person.
It's my father. I grew up with my father saying broads, but it's almost like
I don't look at it. I make
it
like
a term of endearment,
and it's just
it's
me
a classy
saying
broad.
Yeah, like I'm just saying it as a girl or a woman. Like that, just take the girl or woman out, and I put broad in there, and I don't mean it to have any further definition than either girl or woman. That's all it is. It's not like broad, like she's back home with an apron on. It's fucking broad, better get her shit together. I'm smacking her. Not that broad. I don't know that broad. Yeah. When I say broad, it's just it's a girl. It's a lady, a chica.
Yeah, good broad.
Like a broad, a good broad.
Good broad.
She's a good broad.
Chris Monahan says, my old lady.
See, that'll get you fucking a divorce.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Hey, yo, me and my old lady.
Unless you're a biker.
I mean, my old lady, top-notch broad, if you know what I mean.
Anytime I ever heard someone say old lady when I was growing up, my old lady, it was always like a biker dude.
A biker dude?
Yeah, like biker dudes always said, my old lady, me and my old lady.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it was like a big,
Yeah, like those kind of guys.
Me and my old lady are going to barbecue, and we're going to roast a pig in the backyard, have a couple of beers, and the Black Widows are going to come over and play.
Yes, those kind of guys who always said my old lady. Like I told about my dad, and I say, oh, my old man. I didn't start saying that until I was like probably in my 30s, because I heard older guys say that when I was growing up. My old man, like my father.
Yeah, I never used my old man. What about this chick, Peter Vasels?
This chick, I mean, if I was 16, but I stopped saying that when I was a kid.
This chick over here. Yeah, you got to graduate to broad. There's a certain age where you can't be, hey, you want to go I was hanging out with a couple of chicks last night. Be like, were you on To Catch a Predator?
Was it during recess?
Yeah, was it during? Yeah. I was hanging out by the park.
And I
not
this chick
up to no good, if that's what you're thinking. And I just like the park, and
sometimes there's chicks there.
playing on a jungle gym. You know how they do.
You know, chicks.
The mothers were there, a couple of nice broads. I waved.
I don't like to fuck with the broads.
And then I called my old lady. Well, Peter said, I got to check with the War Department. Is that what you refer to a wife as the War Department?
I guess, yeah. I can't see it on mine.
I never did that. There's a setting here. I haven't figured it out yet. Well, you'll be able to see everything I put on the screen.
Okay.
Over Skype. I just didn't feel like crashing my computer tonight. I'm gonna try that on Friday with the podcast. I don't care if we crash. Like, I can come right back, and because we don't put that out for audio or anything.
Right.
I gotta check with the War Machine. I'm gonna use that from now on.
No, the War Department, bro.
Oh, the War Department.
Fucking kind of broad are you married to?
Powerful broad. If you
I gotta check with the War Machine. People say warden, like that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
check with the warden before you go out.
Check with the warden. Isn't love grand? Isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like you automatically make. How's marriage? Well, I'm married to a warden, so prison. If you're.
It's just a horrible way to look at it, I guess. But I've never been married, so I don't know what you guys feel.
I'm assuming those are bad marriages.
No, I mean, or it's just they fall into that kind of like that, like that's the relationship, like kind of like cookie. This is what we do. You're the wife, I'm the guy. Oh my God, I'm in prison. You know what I mean? But like they don't really feel like that. It's just
no. But she really like you. You may be like she totally kids, and she's like, I got you. You're done. She's is prison, and you're getting out with less than half your stuff. So there you go. Okay. I don't know if you know the laws were written for broads. The water went down the wrong pipe. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, do you feel like you're drowning?
Yeah, I just drowned it.
Just drowned it?
Well, it's still there. That's the problem. Then the little tickle stays there.
Yeah.
And like water doesn't wash it down. You almost have to like throw a cookie down there or something.
Because it's what it is. It's like water comes down and the other water's like, nah, keep going.
Yeah, the water just goes around. They're like, oh, sorry, you're here. I'm going.
The other water's like, I'm busy. Get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, I know. All right. It just replaces that water. It's like, oh, someone must have staying up here. Okay, you keep going. I'll stay up here and start annoying this motherfucker.
I got the entrance. You get into the belly.
Yeah.
Did that ever happen on stage?
Oh, yeah. I've spit out water from choking on stage.
Like in the middle, like
just go, it just like flies out of your mouth at somebody. You're like, sorry.
I had right before I went on at Brad's room, I had like he has like that green room has just snacks galore, and I grabbed a handful of snacks. I was waiting behind the curtains, and the guy just kind of brought me up quicker than I thought. So I still was kind of like swallowing probably M&Ms or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that little peanut was in my tooth. You know, like it must have been like a mixed nuts, and it had like like the peanut that has that little skin on the top of the peanut, like that red. That little like almost like paper on top of a little peanut, like that.
Ain't that all weird peanuts?
Huh?
Ain't that all peanuts?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Peanuts. They got that little weird film over it.
Yeah.
So that little piece got caught in the back of my throat.
Uh-huh.
And I was just
that's the worst.
And I was on stage.
I've had
I was
that
like,
happen.
the whole time, the whole show. I'm like, so anyway.
Yeah.
And I had to make fun of it, but it was after a while. It's like, dude, can we take a break? Get that out of your fucking face for a minute? We're sick of hearing you gag for 30 minutes.
You get or that little flake that's inside a popcorn.
Yes.
Kind of like, or one time I had one of those. I have like some of my back teeth are pretty close together, like. So I had one like wedged in there. I couldn't get it out. I was just sitting there jabbing it. Dude, I was in the bathroom trying to get it out. I had the mirror going. I had floss going. My arms got tired from holding up to my face like this. I'm like, I didn't eat popcorn for like a year after that. I was like, I can't have.
Did it come out? Did you get it out, or did it just come out naturally?
Well, you know what it was? I remember that night. I'm laying in bed. I'm like doing this with my tongue, like.
Yeah.
Just playing with it. You're just playing. It became like a friend. It was there all night. We're watching.
It was teasing you. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
So.
we're watching Goodfellas together. We're like, you're just with me. And then it's like right before sleep, you feel it go pop out and just like, you're like, oh, it's in my hand. You're like, you motherfucker. You're just staring at it on your finger like, you've ruined my whole night.
How did it, like, my question is, how did it come out?
I'm guessing just like eventually the saliva just... I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know the ways of the mouth.
Ways of the mouth.
I couldn't figure out the right doctor to.
Yeah, because you don't know the ways of the mouth, so you just
The ways of the mouth.
Or like a tribe.
Yeah, peanut foreskin. That's what Peter says it is. Oh, and Chris Monahan says, I get sad sometimes. Mike doesn't follow me back in Insta. Kissy face.
I'm trying
Chris
to be
Monahan.
cool, I guess. I don't know. I'll follow you back if you follow me.
Chris is a good pal. Lives out west. Always posts great food pictures, I got to tell you.
I normally follow people back, especially if they're broads or chicks or old ladies.
Broads with tattoos.
You got an old lady who's got tattoos. I'm following her.
Oh yeah.
The internet's made for guys to, I think, look at broads. I mean, I don't know what else is going on over there.
I mean, especially Instagram and
TikTok.
TikTok.
What?
TikTok is like is getting out of hand.
With girls or with all the other stuff?
Well, you could just it's amazing though. Like my niece was on TikTok for 2 years. Uncle Joe,
Right.
TikTok is so funny, showing me in it, and I was an old guy. I'm like, I don't get it. Okay, dancing. So
Yeah.
quarantine comes, adults start getting on it, and you already see them ruining it.
Yeah.
It's not so much like being fun doing what they do as far as
That's
the
different.
dances
No,
and stuff.
I'm talking about
It's already
all
getting
the
political
stuff. Dude,
you're like, could you please, why can't we develop a social media platform that's straight for politics? You guys could just yell at each other for that.
I
Call it like face who
went
gives
on
a fuck
TikTok
book.
because I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see dances, like goofy stuff, and I fucked up when I first signed on. There was like guys like funny people would say something funny or have like a funny thing they did about politics, something like that favored what I thought. I was like, oh, that's funny, and I liked it.
Yeah.
And I liked 2 or 3 of those in the beginning, and then you don't pay attention. And then my fucking feed was just full. I could not get by one. Either was anti-Trump or pro-Trump. 80% pro-Trump, 20% anti-Trump. And then I was like, why am I getting all of this? So I went into what I've liked, and I'm like, oh, so I liked 3 posts. I unliked them. And then my shit got clear again. But now with the protests and rioting and all that stuff, dude, every other video was like a girl, some dude's getting beat up. A girl, 3 conservatives talking about how Black Lives is a dumb thing. 2 girls. So now every baby I see, I like it. I don't give a fuck what that baby's doing. I like it because I want babies. I just want babies,
Babies and tattoo broads.
Puppies. And if I can do that, babies, puppies, and tattoo broads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't want to. They ruined that. I stay off Facebook because I don't want to hear any of you fucking retards. So I stay off Facebook. I very rarely go on. Instagram is kind of easy. You just slide through it, but it gets a little boring. Twitter is where you can shout if I want to shout something. When I go on TikTok, I just want to see goofiness.
You know what I hate
I wanna
about
see
Instagram?
videos.
I hate Instagram. I hate that you can't find shit easy if you want to go to a profile and find something. Like there's
What do you
no
mean?
like there was this podcast I listened to that's about anxiety and dealing with anxiety. And at the beginning, the dude just will say like a quote from somebody.
Right.
So he did this Ram Dass quote. He goes, "This is a quote from Ram Dass. I got it from his Instagram page." And it was like this whole thing about following your heart. It was a really good quote. I'm like, I want that shit. I want that fucking thing on my phone. I can't find it fucking anywhere. I've been scrolling Ram Dass's fucking Instagram. I can't find it, man.
Really? Yeah.
And it's so frustrating.
Yeah, like it would be cool if you could search a keyword and find
something.
Yeah.
Something, some way. It's just
Did you like it originally?
What?
Did you originally like it?
No, I heard this podcast recently that was recorded. I don't know. Could have been. I didn't even see the date when the podcast was recorded. I should probably go look at that because maybe he saw it right before that.
Right.
And go look at that. But then still, say it was recorded last year. I gotta fucking fly through Ram Dass's timeline.
Right.
To get.
Yeah.
And I still have no faith it'll be there. I may just email the guy. I'd be like, did you get the wrong guy? Did you quote the wrong guy? Because I can't find shit. And your fucking podcast on anxiety is giving me anxiety.
Way more anxiety
than you are making me obsess. Just can you message me the meme? Because I'm thinking he may have just quoted the wrong guy. Because I went to try and just search for what he said in that.
Right.
You're like, oh, Google's got to have the meme.
Right.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the wrong guy.
Yeah, I gotta. See, I feel so weak messaging the fucking self-help podcast guy because I'm frustrated about his opening from episode whatever the fuck.
Totally counterproductive of what you're supposed to be doing. Help yourself. You're like, can you help me out on this one?
Let's see. What did Chris say? Same with Facebook vids. It's all been the protests on Rewind. Some of the vids even have the red live, and that shit's not live. Yeah. I don't click any videos. That's another public service announcement I would like to make here on our podcast one more time. Do not send me a fucking link to anything on Facebook. I will not open it. Yeah, me too. I get them every day now. It's fucking ridiculous. You gotta read this. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Put down the computer. Sit out in your chair in your yard. The world is calm in your own world.
Right.
You don't need to be riling people up.
It's insane.
I mean, most of my emails are from an ideology I don't agree with. So I'm like, I don't know if I feel like these people don't even know me.
Right. No, they want to know you. They want you to be the thing.
You're like, why would you think I want this?
I know. I get mostly right-wing stuff. Once in a while, someone that I know well knows my point of view will send me something that they will put in there. Hey, Mike, I thought you might like this. I thought you might be interested. Direct it at me. Different.
Yeah.
The general, I'm sending this out to 87 hopeful right-wing people. Let's see if you guys all watch this. Right. Check this bullshit out. It's never, hey, man, I want to share some love for the world. It's never. Yeah. It's always, look at this fucking thing that says everything we say it should say.
Yeah. I got one recently. Norwegian scientist says COVID was made in a lab. I'm like, not watching this.
You can't still be stuck on this. Fucking Jesus Christ, man. This eventually, I've never, and I'm going to be serious for a minute.
Yeah. No, serious.
Because we've not really addressed all the stuff going on. We come on, we're goofy, and we do our thing. But I'm not saying that we have to be educating people. I'm just talking about no one knows my personal stance, maybe. You know what I'm saying, on certain things.
Right.
But people know who I hate. I mean, they're not confused. Anybody who knows me should know kind of where I lean. But I've never in my 50 years of being on this planet, going through 9/11, going through the race riots in 92, like all those riots, you know what I'm saying? Washington Heights riots. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry.
I love this poignant, like you were just so really just setting up this speech, and then you just couldn't let that bug go. You're like, get the fuck out of here. You just went full Jersey City on a mosquito.
It was like right there in the light. It was big. I'm like, you're not getting away with fucking stinging me. Get out of here. Beat it. Anyway.
Mike doesn't use off. He goes, you're not stinging me. Get out of here. Beat it. Do you use citronella candles? No. I just tell them to get out of here. Beat it. And they go buzzing over somewhere else.
Seems to work.
Yeah. Have you tried telling them to beat it yet? No? Works here. I'm just saying.
I'm not buying into your citronella candle scam.
Yeah. We all know where that comes from and what it funds. Okay? Get yourself educated.
Keep it moving, libtard. Take your mosquitoes with you. Yeah. I know how they got back.
You're not going to infect me with your mosquito virus. Hillary grew these mosquitoes in a pizza place for pedophiles.
I couldn't get it out. I was choking.
It sent them out to infect us with COVID 2021. Not even out yet.
First tried to send out emails, but she couldn't figure out how to get the virus into an email.
Yeah, she's not smart enough to make a computer virus, so she made a mosquito virus. COVID-19 is just to get you guys off the tracks for hers.
We all know that's true. If you don't think that, then you're fucking
the mosquito actually infects you with a virus that makes you vote liberal. I read it on PatriotRepublicansFlags.com.
PatriotsRepublicanFlags.com. Very reliable, balanced source. They're very open-minded.
/news.
Yeah. So anyway, back to my thing. Was that fucking spike? So try.
Let me get back to my thing. Okay, that fucking spider.
A lot of nature around here.
That's what happens outside.
Yeah,
Mike's the only person that goes outside and goes, a lot of nature out here. I've been in my house all day. Not a lot of nature in there. I got to tell you.
It's aggravating. I just want to come out and relax. I don't want to be swatting bugs and getting bit. I just want to come out and relax. I got fucking a citronella candle. I got another thing over here. It's supposed to be like a bug light. I sprayed off on me, on my computer. I sprayed off on everything.
Real quick before you get into your story, Chris Monahan, hey, when do you guys get to go back on stage? Well, Mike will be going to Vegas in a few weeks to Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at the MGM, I believe, July 4th week?
The weekend there, July 6th through the 12th.
Yeah, so I don't know when. I mean, who the hell knows in the East Coast? But hopefully, I'm optimistic at the beginning of the fall I will be having dates somewhere.
Yeah, listen, man.
Even if I have to put on my own shows, I'm really tempted to just do my own thing if nothing really opens up. But
if they're doing it, in Vegas, in this place, it's like, a mecca for people who travel from all over the world. They're putting in place things that will control the environment. They're going to try to control the environment for a little while.
Yeah.
In places over here, we'll get to that point.
Yeah, maybe we'll put together our own little All in Our Heads podcast tour and do our own thing.
There we go. And people will come out.
They will. All right, let's get back to your...
So, anyway, being through like a lot of riots and a lot of upheaval, like I never, ever felt like we couldn't figure it out eventually. Now, things really haven't changed much, for certain members of our society. Over the years, everybody's like, they get they get plenty. They don't really. They're still getting fucked over. But
Yeah.
I always felt like there was a chance that, like, when things would get, when there'd be a big protest, a million man march, like all these things I thought kind of moved us ahead a little bit. I just felt like a little hope that maybe as a whole country will come together. I always felt that.
Yeah.
I have zero of that. I've had zero of that for the last 3 years, that we are a country of Americans, that we, care about each other. We want to see each other do well. I don't feel it at all. And all of these protests have split, or you can't even, no one will even see that how necessary it was for some of these, the why it blew up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Breaking into people. I absolutely hate watching innocent people get hurt.
Yeah.
So when there's a guy getting beat up because he's trying to save his store, that breaks my heart. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believe that most of the people out there that were doing that kind of stuff were dirtbags. But I think even real cops are saying, like, there's one cop called in on Michael K's show, and he was working Manhattan in the protest, and he said you can see the protesters would be walking calmly, shouting, doing protest stuff. And then he goes, in the background, you can see the people who weren't really a part of that. And then when it came time, they would blend in with the protesters and then start doing bad stuff.
Right.
The cop says you can see it happening. You know what I'm saying? So, and like, so I know all the fucking riots and the trashing people's businesses. It sucks, and I don't agree with it. I wish it didn't happen. However, the reason why it happened, some of it might be justified. Not the actions, but the reason why it boiled over so much. Those things are justified to me.
Yeah.
And all I see is people going, even over, like, take it all the way back down to George Floyd. Yeah, but white people get killed just as much from cops.
And then why doesn't that bother you?
But I'm saying, my point is that everyone, instead of just, how about shut the hell up for a minute? Why do you have to pull out a chart that shows the other thing?
That's always my thing. It's like, I have no idea what it feels like to, like, be frustrated with something to the point that'll make me do that.
Or make you just even want to...
But even just
any
protest.
Of it.
I mean,
At all.
I can't. So that's why I support. Listen, man, I can't tell you shouldn't be doing that. I don't know what you're feeling, man.
Right now,
you know what I mean? Like, I can't put I can't put myself there. But listen, man, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't critique people on what's going on. Do I wish that things like that didn't happen? Looting, yes. Breaking things, but I feel like you got to. I try to, like, put myself in the frustration of people and what they've been dealing with their whole life.
Now, now you say something. Here's the problem I'm having with society in general. You can make a calm point about it. Like, maybe I don't understand their frustration. I don't know what it got. I mean, that frustration that you're like, fuck, and you want to throw a rock to a police car. I don't know that frustration. Someone will then tell you, yeah, but it's all bullshit because the white guys, cops are killing what? Like, it's like, oh my, it's not. Why is it bullshit? To me, if you're always looking for a reason why black people are not being basically held back, if you're always looking for a way to show that that's a false narrative, then you're the problem. How do you can't just be like, this is what they feel? They feel like the system isn't out for them. How are you always looking for a reason to show how they're wrong? That's so infuriating, and you will never bridge the gap if all you're trying to do. When people are chanting out Black Lives Matter and they're all mad and angry, I don't think they're mad at me. I don't take it personal. Why do you take it so personal?
Yeah,
Why do
that's why I
some
don't
guys
get why people take it so personal?
like it's not about you? He's not saying you sucked.
Because
He's
even
saying,
when people were peacefully protesting, a la
Wasn't good enough.
Colin Kaepernick, they were still shitting on it.
yeah, it wasn't good
You know
enough.
what I mean?
Because
So it's like you can't. There's never been a movement that they're like, well, okay, you guys are doing it right. But who the fuck says you're the rule maker of how to do things right?
But the thing is that even when you start to make sense and you start to call out the irony, they then flip the card and go, "Well, the whole movement's bullshit anyhow because it's bullshit." If you look at the stats, white people get shot and cops are arresting more white people. It's like, oh my god, man, why do you have to find out what? So are you angry that they protest, or you just don't believe in the cause? And that's the truth. Most of the people who are bitching and moaning about the protest don't believe in the cause anyhow. So to those people, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't need you. You're not my kind of people. Get the fuck out of here. I am trying to talk to the people who like say my mom, who's like, I don't know why they're rioting, but she's not. She understands systematic racism.
Right.
She understands that. She understands that black people seem to have it harder, seem to be more the target of some of these issues.
Yeah.
She can get with that. So she's the person I want to talk to when it comes to Black Lives Matter. And I think I don't know if we said it on here, where the person was like, I've seen a lot of people breaking it down lately, and it's been making me feel good. Like, oh, good, somebody's explaining. So some of the people who are on the fence can maybe understand. It's like you're on a block with 5 houses and one house is burning and you're like, oh, we got to get the firemen to that house. The other 4 people are like, well, my house is important too. Absolutely. But your house isn't burning right now. We just want to go take care of it.
I've tried telling that story to people that are on that other side. They're like, yeah, bad analogy. Don't get it. They just,
don't want to.
Chris in the chat can relate. He said, I almost protested by myself against the cops in Highland Park, New Jersey, for ripping me off my skateboard back in the 80s. Close, Chris. Yeah,
it's almost the same thing.
Almost the same thing.
But, there's been like a lot of people like getting honest about what maybe they could have done different when they see racism. You know what I mean? Like those are the things. Like, what could you do that's different? I'm not a cop. I'm not going to hurt anybody. I never want to hurt anybody. But what can I do that can help make a little bit of change? So if someone in your life is racist or bigot, and they say kind of bigoted stuff, you just stop them. Be like, nah, that's cool. We don't do that.
Yeah.
I grew up, my mom, the N-word was not allowed to be around that house. Since I'm a baby, nobody's allowed to say the N-word. My grandfather was born in the foothills of North Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 1922.
Yeah. He says it when asking for the butter at dinner table.
Yeah, it came out. It came out for him.
Yeah.
He was the kind of guy who was a lot like people I see out there. No, he's a good. No, I know this black guy Jim. He's good, but he's a good one. That my grandfather would say stuff like that. My grandfather would say there was like this. My grandfather's from North Carolina and moved to Jersey City, and in Jersey City was a lot of Puerto Ricans in my neighborhood. So that was like when he was in North Carolina it was black and white. Up here it was Spanish and white. In that part of the name, and I remember my grandfather saying, "Man, I know a couple good black guys, but them Puerto Ricans, man, you can't trust them because they'll stab you."
Jesus.
That's how he thought.
Yeah.
That's how he thought. And he's no longer with us, but it's that kind of stuff that if my mom wouldn't allow that around me, when he would say the N-word, my mom would snap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She always tried to stop him. Did it change him? No, but you say a couple, you hear people being racist. One of your friends says a racist joke. I know we're comedians, but you also got to be like, nah, man, we can't. It's not cool, man. Mm. And I'll tell you, I have an experience. When back in like 2003, 2004, I was living with my roommate for a couple of years, and he was on the lease, and the landlord of the house was cool with us living there, but Kevin wanted to move in with his girlfriend somewhere else. And the landlord was like, well, I want to take the house for myself then, because my daughter might need the house. You know what I'm saying? And he so he didn't want to give me the lease. So we had to leave. So I had like 2 months to get out. Not even 2 months. I had about 5 weeks, 6 weeks to get out. And it was right at Christmas time. So I was like, my kids were little young kids. I'm like, I got to fucking get out. My kids I'm not going to have a tree. I got to move in the month of December. I'm not going to have Christmas at my house with my kids. It was just me and my kids. So I went looking for an apartment, and I drove up to a house. I saw the for rent in the window. When I got out of the car, the landlord came out. He was an old Italian guy, spoke, very little English, like maybe a very thick Italian accent. And he goes, you look at the apartment? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, how much? He's like, for you, it's $1,600, but for you, what can you do? And I was like, I'm looking at $1,200. He's like, you got it. I want to basically put an Italian accent in it. He's like, yeah, you're white. I want you here. That's what he said to me. To my face in the driveway. You got it. $1,200, you got it. You're a white guy. I want a white guy.
That's awful.
That's what he said to me. Now, maybe in a different time in my life, a little different spot, maybe I could be like, how about you go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
And walk out. But I needed a place. I had no choice. I had to take a place. And I took the place, and in 1 year I was gone because the guy was a fucking piece of shit, fucking judgmental dick.
That's insane.
He was just a miserable human to people. So I was like, we got out of there after a year. I was like, I don't want to stay here anymore. But that happened. That happened. People think that happens, man. And if a white person is going to try to identify with that right now, like, why would you try to tell a story that counteracts that story? Yeah, it happens all the time. I remember
like
one
people
time.
don't want to listen. People don't want to listen and give and like hear people's story. They're already ready with like their argument to why to like tell you why you're wrong, to not validate your feelings. And I don't understand it, because what does it do to you? Like, how does it help you as a person to listen to someone's experience and have empathy for them and their plight? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Right.
I guess it's just I grew up different. I don't know, man. I don't know how. I don't know.
It's mind-boggling. It's like no one listens. Everyone is trying to, as you're talking and telling your story, they're trying to think of a way they can tell you how it's wrong. They're not even listening to it.
Yeah.
They're not even listening. They're just waiting for you to say the thing, and they go, oh, this is why. It's just they're not even listening. They don't give a fuck.
Well, I've been seeing, like, black friends of mine, like, on social media posting themselves at the rallies or posting personal stories, and it gives me chills, man.
Right.
Because we know these people, we love these people, and it's like they have better things to do than do this. They don't want to be doing this.
But it blows my mind that to some people they're all lies and not telling the truth, and you don't even get it. Everyone has it hard. It's like, oh my, like, where in the statement is anybody saying you don't have it hard? Where in the statement? So I was telling somebody what, to me, like, white privilege. People don't like that word, white privilege. I don't really give a fuck about it because I kind of acknowledge what it is. Right. I've never, ever, 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 ever been followed around a store because I'm white.
Yeah.
Right? When did you ever walk into a store and they go, even if you walked in, let's just say a black-owned business.
Yeah.
Just say you walk into a black-owned business with all black employees. They don't go, yo, follow that guy around. He's white.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Never happened to me. Never happened to me. Never once. I remember I used to work in Sipperstein Paints in Union. And with me was this big black dude. Mark worked there. He was a good guy, man. He was jacked up. He was probably like a college football player, but he was a music producer. He was into a lot of stuff. He worked at the store. He produced music. He had good money. He came from good money. His family was rich. Good dude. Funny. And we always bust balls. And one day this he wasn't in, and some fucking dirtbag fucking Italian, like dirtbag contractor comes in and is like, oh, you here? Thank God the N-word isn't here.
Ugh.
And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, follow like that N-word again. And I was like, I'm going to have to find someone else to help you. He said, what? I'm like, yeah, because my mother's black. And he doesn't know that. That's not true. But I put it on. I'm like, well, my mom's black, man. You're kind of fucking disrespectful. And he's like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I went and got the manager. I'm like, you wait on him. Like, who are you talking to? So that happens, man. That happens. That happens all the time. All the time. How you can't? I don't
know if I told the story on the podcast before. I was telling it to my family before because we were talking about all this about the time. I'll just say his name. I don't think he'll care if I say it because it was something that happened to him. I was doing a fundraiser with Matt Jenkins.
Right.
Matt Jenkins is a friend of ours, African American guy, very funny comic. We're doing a fundraiser at this VFW. So he was hosting, and I was the middle act. So I go up, I do my time. It was around like sometime in the fall one year, and the Yankees were playing the Red Sox or whatever in the playoffs.
Right.
So I get off stage, and I was talking to Matt. I'm like, I want to go see if we can watch the game in the bar.
Right.
So, it's members only, the bar area of these VFWs.
Yeah.
So I go in the door. I said, hey, I was like, we're comics. We're working in the hall next door for a fundraiser, doing stand-up. Do you mind if we come in and just watch some of the game till the show's over? Guy's like, nah, man, come on in. And I go, yo, Matt, they said we can come in. Matt comes in with me, and the guy goes, whoa, members only. And I was like, bro, dude,
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. And I was like, I just turned around. I go, Matt, I'm so sorry. He goes, dude, I'm used to this shit. Don't worry about it. You can go. I'm like, nah, I'm not going in there. He's like,
right.
I'm used to that. I couldn't believe it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like just I felt bad the whole night from that. I didn't even do anything.
Right.
It was like I felt ashamed.
Right.
But it's like it's still like, dude, this kid was just in the other room murdering.
Right.
For a room full of white people.
Right.
And then this little group, I don't know, man.
But you know what's fucked up? You'll talk to his people who don't think that they're racist or whatever you want to call it. You want to semantics to me, bigotry, racism, kind of like to say. I know you think racism is more violent. I just think it's all the same. But that's fine but you'll talk to people who'll be like, nah, that ain't right what they did to that guy. But you gotta. Let me tell you something. A lot of black people do bad things. It's like, wait, what are you saying? Are you saying that some black people are good and some black? Why don't you just say some people are thieves and some people aren't? Like, why is it some black people are bad? It is simple. Many people are bad. Some happen to be black. Some happen to be really white. It's just people. I mean, but why is it always? Let me tell you something. Yeah, you know why cops are fucked up? Because they always deal with these guys, black guys, a lot of criminals. Like, well, that's not a good enough excuse. I'm sorry, man. If you want to be a police officer, you have to be a non-pussy. You can't be a pussy and be scared because the guy jitters. The guy was a little moving. I'm not a cop. You know why? Because I would shoot everybody who moved. Because I'm a pussy.
Right.
I'm a pussy, bro.
Yeah, we'd fail the first pussy exam like immediately. Be like,
immediately.
Yeah. Boo! Huh! All right, never mind. Here.
Yeah.
I'm out.
So if you're a cop,
when was your last day as a cop? They jumped out from behind the wall and scared me. And then I fake shot them with my fake gun. So they said you can't spray the room when someone says boo. So I became a comedian.
Now I know as it's a hard job and like you're humans. Cops are human beings. That's the problem. They're human beings. We expect more from them because they're in a position that requires you to be better.
Yeah.
We just expect more from you. So maybe you can't do it if you're scared that easy. You could be afraid. That's a normal instinct. You're a human being. You're walking into a building that you might get shot. Of course you're afraid. But you have to be able to deal with the fear better than me. You can't run in there. My fear is run in there shooting before the doors open.
Yeah.
You got to be a little better than that. And I know it's hard, but you got to be better than that. And if you see one of your coworkers isn't a good person, you got to rat them out. And if you can't do that, then then that's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, it's so much more than just this police brutality, but police brutality in every walk of life. Police, they have control, they have power, and you're asking normal human beings to bottle that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have free range most of the time. You're asking them to keep that under control. It's not easy. There's only probably a certain person who can have that power and know how to wield it properly. It's a lot to ask a human, but we have to find the humans who can handle it. If you can't handle it, then you can't do it. You just can't do it. Sorry. Just be a fireman. You don't want to do that, do you? Nah.
Yeah.
No glory in firemen.
Chris in the chat earlier asked the question.
Shoot.
Defund the police? Question mark. Have you heard this thing?
Yeah, I don't buy into it all.
I don't even know what it is. I like I said.
They're saying defund, like if if the police departments aren't going to clean house, let's just say, then defund them. Don't give them the money. Basically fire them all.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a radical fucking solution.
Right.
However, there's got to be some accountability, and you're leaving it up to ourselves. The police. Listen, man. Let's just bring it down to normal. Me, you, and fucking Joe Conti have to do a show for James, and we're supposed to be clean, no cursing, and you fuck up and curse.
Yeah.
Not telling on you.
Right.
If they say, hey, we got a bad report, one of the guys cursed, I'm going to be like, I didn't hear it. Right?
Yeah.
That's just normal, basic. So now you got a guy, we had a report that you kind of threw a guy down the ground and he kicked him in the face. Nah, he was trying to run. It's over. That's it. He came at me. He lunged at my gun, so I knocked him down. Okay. Where's the investigation? That's no more. It's over.
Right.
So so of course there's a lot more work to be done, but it's very hard. It's very hard to clean that up. So it's got to be more than that. It's got to be the system, but it's got to be individuals acknowledging that this world isn't going to survive if all we do is say, I don't like you because you're that color, and you're that color, you're bums.
I almost wanted to have just like friends on the podcast one time, some of our black friend comedians, to talk about things that are going on. Because I feel like sometimes, you get these news things or like a Facebook feed, and it's like I feel like sometimes you can just have a better conversation with a few people. You know what I mean?
You know what? Absolutely. You know what I heard, though, and it really made sense? I forget who it was. You said, I think it was Phoebe Robinson, said somebody asked her, like, in an interview, so what can you do to tell, teach us how to be? And she's like, man, I'm a comedian. I'm not your professor. She's like, I'm sick of teaching and she meant it like jokingly.
Yeah.
I'm sick of teaching white people how to be. You try to learn yourself. Learn.
Yeah.
Do research. Read. I got to teach you how to be. I got to teach you how to treat me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just you can't. But you get to a conversation. You break it down to this human fucking element, and then you still have someone going, well, nah, because it's this. It's like, I can't do the conversation anymore, man. You're not looking for solutions. You continue to look for problems. And that's what's happening in this country. Everyone wants to look for a problem. Everyone keeps pointing out that you fucked up. No one wants to say, well, maybe you did fuck up, but I fucked up on this too. Maybe we can come, to a certain spot. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it. And it's split. The fucking country is split apart, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it just because it's like, first you had COVID. When early COVID, people were like, it was almost like we're all home on on a little extended vacational camping trip. Stay a couple weeks at home. We'll shut things down and we'll get back. Then things aren't opening up. Then everybody starts turning at each other. Now a disease is partisan. It's like It's
I know.
like it's not dangerous to Republicans, but it's deadly to liberals. And then the riots are happening. COVID's still there, and then as things are open, I think people are still delusional of how fast this economy will come back. And I think the poverty hasn't even really of the situation hasn't even settled in yet, and it's just these tensions. Then couple that with probably going to be the most divisive election we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Coming, I fear for just like even worse problems coming ahead. It's like it's
gonna get worse.
It's gotta get worse. It's crazy to me. Like I'm afraid of the fall. I'm afraid of the election.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of the COVID coming back. All of it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shitty November.
I hate to be doom and gloom, but it's like sometimes, it's like
that's when I'm a very optimistic person. And I try to have like hope. But listening to people talking in this and watching people argue on Facebook and just watching videos of the hate. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see a lot of videos of black people hating white people. I don't.
Me neither.
I don't see a lot of videos of black people saying all the people over here that they say all lives matter, they suck and they're the problem. I don't even hear black people saying that white people are the problem. Yeah. I don't hear black people saying white people are the problem. I hear black people saying the system is the problem, and it's inherently racist. This country was built on, we're like a racist country, and that needs to get to change. And now you're not racist, and you got a good heart. You're gonna be like, well, I want to help change. If any of that hurts you or makes you uncomfortable, then you got to look at that. Because why would it make you uncomfortable if a group of people going, the system's kind of fucked up and we need to fix it? Why are you so adamant that it's not fucked up?
Right.
Why are you fighting so hard?
That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. It's like, what is, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not in life with anything. When anybody in my life, whether I know you or not, you come to me with a problem of yours, you try and empathize with them and try and find out what's wrong and not deny them their feelings. I just feel like you're just doing it on a grander scale with this. It's like they all can't be feeling the same thing for no reason.
Falsely. Yeah, no.
Falsely. It's like it's real.
Mm-hmm.
It's like why? I don't understand. You know what it is? I can't put myself in that headspace because it's not who I am.
Right. Exactly.
But you've seen me defend people, not with this situation, but like with other situations, defend people and their beliefs on the other side for things like whatever, other things. You know what I mean? It's like you just always try to see. I don't understand how people live in a way like you can't. I can't see the other side of racism. I'm never gonna look on that side.
Right.
Like there's nothing over there for me.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? So I can't empathize with you if you're on the side of hate. I can't. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Like, if you're on, I can't. There's no way.
If you're on the side of hate, but here's the problem. There's a segment of this population that they do not give a fuck what we're saying.
No, I know. We're not Listen, and I know I don't try to change mine. Like, listen, man, what's that corny expression? Change starts at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just do what I can personally in my life and treat people right, and you just hope that. So somebody posted that.
I saw a post on Facebook today. So now I'm not a big mass delete kind of guy. And unless we have personal interactions that I don't like you, I'll delete you. Other than that, I just ignore people. But with all this pure hate, and me seeing pure hate from you, if I see a post that just represents disgusting side of you, I just delete you right away. Like I'm not talking about even directed at me. I'm just saying scrolling and so, like I saw someone today going, I hope at the George Floyd Memorial they don't forget that he was a deranged, coked out lunatic who's been on drugs and arrested and put his gun, I mean, not that it was right for him to get killed, but just hope they know the whole story. You're out. You're gone.
I can't even engage with people like that.
I'm like, you're gone. You're not a good person. It doesn't matter what that motherfucker ever did. The day that he did that, he was on the ground under control, and the dude didn't get off his neck. Period. Even, let's say, up until we saw him with the knee on his neck, let's say up until that point, he was yelling and calling everybody a piece of shit. He was going to murder everybody, and he was throwing his fucking body around. Then they got him down the ground, and he was under control, the handcuffed. Let's say, at that moment, it stops. But it didn't stop. 8 more minutes later, it stopped.
Yeah.
So whatever he did up until that moment doesn't mean he gets to die. I don't care if he personally murdered 27 people up until that moment. He doesn't have to die. And
Right.
The cops don't need to take their power that far. That's it. That's as simple as you can say it. And you want to tell me that I'm going to ask you how many times you've been pulled over in your life. How many times?
Wow. I don't know.
20?
Probably more than that, but yeah. Good amount of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been pulled over 15 maybe.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's about it. And that was all mostly when I was younger and doing crazy shit. And then, a couple times speeding, a couple cell phone pullovers.
Right.
How many times were you let go in all those times you were pulled? Like with nothing, nothing.
Oh, every time. Even
So
when
I
I
get-
should put it this way, even when I shouldn't have been.
Right.
I want to talk about a white privilege. I got pulled over drunk.
Yeah.
Talked
I
to the
shared
cop, found a mutual someone we knew, and the cop followed me home while I drove
Right.
slowly because I was close to home, drunk and underage.
I got pulled over with empty 12-pack of Heineken in my back seat. Empty bottle is like $250 a fine for every bottle empty. I had 12 of them.
Yeah.
My buddy in the passenger seat with a bag of weed, me with a joint between my legs, a little buzzed. 1 o'clock in the morning, the cop pulls me over. He's like, do you work from the town of May when I was a recycle guy? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you got all these beers in your bag. Let's get these out and throw them in the garbage right here. Throw them out. Are you all right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, listen, man, just be careful. Get home safe. That was it. I had 12 empty beers and a joint. Okay?
Yeah.
I was drunk one night, and they found out my father was a cop, and they let me drive home. I couldn't see straight. I remember being pulled over, and I remember waking up 5 hours later in a gas station parking lot. Sleeping in the gas station. The ding-ding of the gas station woke me up.
Ding,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a ding-ding. I was like, oh, fuck. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Didn't go to jail. I've been arrested and had to, pay the fine, and pay the price. But for the most part, I've been let go. You know what I'm saying? And there's white people are going to tell me, not me every time. Like, I don't care, dirtbag. You're a rare bird, all right? You're a rare bird. You know how many times my mom's been pulled over? Probably twice in her life, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times, like, just on a routine going to get a gallon of milk?
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. It's
Those are the things, like, yeah, there's black criminals and in the hood there's a lot of crime, black guys and crime, but that goes deeper into the system. Like, why is it like that? Oh, they're just because I grew up in Jersey City, and I can remember hearing all the older guys talk. A lot of guys in my neighborhood talk about, look at these, they live in the fucking project. They fucking spray paint on their buildings. They're fucking do it to themselves.
ugh.
And I never bought into that because I was always like, I never bought into it. I always like, but why? Why? But why? Like, there's God. Why?
That shit's all learned at home, man. That shit's all learned growing up, man. You're not born racist.
No.
Nobody is. Nobody is, man. just the way it is.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I had black friends growing up. I don't know. It just was never a thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I want to ask you on another topic on race. We're an hour in, just before we wrap up. I don't know if you saw that little, because it's in the comedy community, that little list that's going around.
No.
There was I never heard of the dude. I assume he's like an open mic level New York comic.
Right.
He started posting a list of comedians who are racist.
Oh, nice.
And he just kept adding to the list.
Okay.
But it was like, yeah, you look at first off the list, I didn't even know half the names.
Right.
Some names you do know, you're like, okay, I could see that. But then some were very shocking to me. And but like part of me was like, I see what you're doing, but it's kind of not a good thing to do.
Right.
Like, what jury are you on, judge and jury, to be putting people out there as racists? I heard he got banned from Facebook for like 7 days for doing that. Well, yeah, because what is it based on? Is it based on knowledge that are these people making jokes? Are they? But what's it based on? Is it based on because you think they are, because of your perception? Then he goes, some people got off the list because they emailed me and convinced me they weren't racist. Then that's impossible. I don't like that shit, man. I don't like people. That's not what we're doing here. Like, what's your criteria? Like, we used to talk about that a lot. Like, what's your criteria for someone being racist? You know what I mean? It better be like a high. If you're gonna put someone publicly out as a racist, if you personally want to think somebody's a racist and I have nothing to do with them, that's fine. If you're gonna publicly out someone as a racist, you need a lot of information. No, there's got to be a lot of supporting data. Yes, 15 other people going, yeah, man, I definitely had an experience with that guy or girl. I definitely experienced racism when I was with that guy. Okay, now you got to maybe have a cause. What the point of the list is, I don't know. I think I don't want to put his name out here because I don't know him well enough. But like, I'll give you a clue. He's an older man in the New York comedy scene. Okay. Who speaks kind of weird sometimes. All the time, then. Okay, you know who I'm talking. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. But they said he was. He said he was. That dude. That dude. He doesn't strike me as racist at all. That dude came up for 20 years in that circuit. That's what I'm saying. That's his boy. They're all his boy. He opens. But somebody said, because I got into the comments like that he thinks he can say certain things because he came up in that, and that's what makes him racist. It's like that doesn't make him racist. Is he making tasteless jokes to comedians? Maybe, but that don't mean you're a racist. No. Like there was a joke book called Truly Tasteless Jokes that had sections on. Like, there's race jokes. Like, I don't know what we're talking about here. Is this person actually hurting people? And they're no. Because I feel like you making a list like that, you're actually, in a racial way, hurting people. Right. With racism. Well, the thing that's fucked up is that you came up with this list, and you're the end-all, be-all of the racist judgment. You can say that this guy made me feel uncomfortable. I can't tell you that didn't happen. But you're putting on blast that he is who he is. That fucking dude, he talks like that because he grew up his whole life in that. I'm not trying to put him on blast, but his stepson is a black kid. I mean, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like he is like a hood guy who's talking like that because that's who he is. He's not talking like that because he's trying to talk like everybody. He is that. That's his environment. He grew up in his whole life. Yeah. You ever go to the hood and see like white people who don't sound like this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, oh, why are they trying to act like that? They're not. That's what they grew. That's how they grew up. They're talking in their dialect because that's how they've always talked. They're not going out of their way to be that. They are that. They're not trying to imitate that and be something they're not. That's them. That's who they are. Yeah, they're like this list. This is a list of racist comics you shouldn't book anymore. And it's like, first off, you're an open micer. Book I don't like. No one's taking you seriously with any of this. Like, what are you even trying to do, man?
I just think it's fucked up that you're not the end all. Now, again, if people say, yeah, man, that guy makes me feel uncomfortable racially, then that's your thing. I would never tell you that you don't feel that. But to put it on blast based on solely your thought process,
yeah.
And what's the point of it? Is right. What's the point?
Yeah.
You think
it bothered me. It bothered me because I don't know.
Because
it's our business, and it's like I just didn't like. I don't like fucking with. Like, I always hated that. Like, even when people tried canceling people for being like a certain way on stage,
right.
like it's like, hey man, this is art. Get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't no rules in this game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nothing
yeah.
canceling people.
Right.
The only rules in this game is, like we used to say, when you're set up at a specific gig and they have the rules, that's the only rules you go by.
Correct.
Otherwise, there ain't no rules.
Right.
You know what? And if some dumb comic that you don't like is making racial jokes on Facebook, then fucking unfriend them and move on with your life. He ain't going to go far with it anyway. He ain't going to get booked in big clubs.
Right.
Look at Shane Gillis lost Saturday Night Live for a racial joke on a podcast he thought nobody would hear.
You know what, though? What I would say with what it looks like, I didn't even see that list, but what I would say most likely is scrolling people's Facebook comments, Facebook posts, and seeing how racist they are in those posts. Like, the post, the fucking links. Look at this, guys. These rioters aren't really protesting; they're criminals. Like, those kind of guys who are like posting stuff that's totally, they're racist.
Yeah.
Maybe he's exploiting those people. Like, I don't know but these guys are racist. Stop fucking with them.
What it gave it to me was like he had some working list, and it seemed like other people were contributing to his list by sending him screenshots of others.
Which I get. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it. I don't like mob mentality in anything.
Yes. Who are
I
you
don't
guys?
like that.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I do get me saying to you in private, that dude's a fucking racist piece of shit.
Right. And I don't want to deal with him.
And I delete him out of my life. Putting him on blast, I know you think in this moment that's what's needed, spread light on people, but I'm telling you, you're shining light on people who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So why shine the light on them? Be better than them. Be good fucking hearted people. Talk to people who have good hearts and who want to make a change. The dirtbag who is racist and he don't give a fuck. He's a dirtbag. That's what he is. Yeah. You're not changing that motherfucker.
No.
You just act normal. Like my uncle in North Carolina, grew up North Carolina farmer. We're talking, deep racial fucking fibers in this guy. Is married in, not related, not blood, but married in. He was he's racist. Member of a whites only club. Racist.
Yeah.
He voted for Obama twice. Because Obama didn't tell him that he was a fucked up racist.
Right.
Right? Obama didn't say, you're a bad person. Obama said, you're American, we're going to try to work together and get everybody together and try to make this country better. And he bought that. So you want to change people? Don't try to tell him how fucked up he is.
Right.
Because that just pushes him further away. You're not going to change him by telling him how fucked up he is. It's like, you're not going to get the serious Trump supporter to begin with, but you're definitely not going to get him if you tell him how dumb and stupid and racist they are. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just think we need to. This president is unable to bring us together. He's unable. He does it not unwilling. Does not want it. You have not watched one speech that man has spoke to this country and felt like he was talking to you. I don't know you, but I've never heard him talk and felt like I was included. The only people he's talking to are people who love him.
Mm.
If you don't really like him or you're not really on board with all his policies, you're out. He's not pulling for you, America. He's pulling for the guys who love him. So people who love him mostly are white people. There's a lot of other people, but mostly white people, okay? He's not trying to bridge the gap. He's not trying to make us feel like we're going to be okay. We're going to work on this together as a country. I haven't heard that speech come out of his mouth yet. Have you heard the America guys, we got to come together with love? No. What's the speech? We're going to go in there and shoot people. We're going to go in there with the military. And all those guys like, yeah, fucking kill them. That's it. He's not talking to you, bro. He doesn't give a fuck about us. So fuck him.
Yeah, I unfriended a person for the first time in a long time. A comic who's, I don't know. He's a nothing to me.
Right.
Yeah, he was calling for the slaughter of people.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
fine
go.
if you don't agree. If you post stuff you don't agree with things, and you do it in a non-hateful way, just your way. But when you start talking about mowing people down and slaughtering them,
right?
First off, you weren't in my life anyway, so I don't even know why I need you in this part of my life. You weren't in my life. Right. And your comedy stinks. So it's not even like I would maybe keep you around because of your talent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you had no talent.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, you're like, maybe I would keep you around in case we work together because you're a good guy.
Yeah, the motherfucker was doing comedy 30 years and getting into fights online with open micers telling him, you're stealing people from my open mic to go to your open mic. It's like, dude, you're doing it 30 years. If you're running an open mic, it's time to go.
So some person posted today in the biggest pussy fashion I've ever seen in my entire life. She copied and pasted some long list from somebody, and she said, people who know me know how I feel about certain things, and I have people in my life that I really care about. So there's things on this list that I don't really agree with, but the overall view you'll see I kind of agree with. But she didn't say what things she didn't agree with. So I guess we got to go down the list and try to assume.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That the most seriously racist shit on this list is the ones you're talking about. Why don't you step up and tell us what you don't agree with, or don't post this fucking list at all? It was a list talking about it came from such a hateful place about how I'm done with I don't support if you're a boy and you identify yourself with a girl, I got to play along with you.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the things. Now look at this. I mean, if you can't see the racism, why do like Irish and German immigrants have to wait in line to immigrate to this country, but fucking Central American and Hispanics can climb over to Central American and Mexican thugs, rapists, and gangbangers can just come in. It's like that's so you're concerned about immigration policy, or you're concerned about brown people getting in and white people not? What is it? Which one are we really concerned about? It's just, but there was such a list of just pure hate that you put that list out. I gotta let you go.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You gotta go. I
have a pretty big tolerance, but you know, you gotta go when you're.
I want people
a certain level of hate that I honestly say, like, certain people just hide. I'm like, I'm hiding you. Or you like say pause for 30 days. Or you gotta calm down. I'll see you. If you start doing donuts and puppy pictures in 30 days, you're back in my feed. But otherwise, you're gonna snooze you again.
If you have. I don't need my feed to be just like-minded people. I want to be open-minded to see everyone's view. So I don't want to delete you just because I see that you're not on the same page as me. But people who have hate and anger and they fucking try to hide it under the guise of something else, and I can see your hate and anger. You're hateful and angry and mean, and I got to let you go, man. I don't need that in my life, man. You're not someone who needs to be in my life.
Yeah, James Cass says because there aren't roving gangs of drug kingpins kidnapping tourists and murdering people in Ireland and Germany.
Nope. All right, he's right. James nailed it.
Got to get James back on the cast.
Yes, sir.
Good guest. But
All right.
Anywho, we're gonna wrap this up. Good talk, good chat.
Hey, man. It's I personally don't know how to be in this moment anymore. I
Nah,
don't know
listen.
how to.
We try to be fun. We're fun. Like we try. Like Friday nights, I try to stay fun on that podcast. If we want to talk about things, we talk about things on our podcast. We do. Whatever. Dude, we're living in a weird world right now. We don't have any life where it's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is, man. But I want to remind you guys, plug your dates coming up just so people can know. You know,
the only one I have is that Vegas date, July 6th through the 12th. Brad Garrett's is my first headlining time there, and so it'll be my first COVID show on stage. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah, post COVID or whatever quarantine.
Dude, you got to tape that, man. Oh, they tape all the shows there, right?
They tape them all. Yeah,
you got to have it for your archives, man.
Yeah.
First show back from such a long layoff on COVID, and with the you want that tape, man. Because just say for instance, you're just feeling good, and you riff off some fucking in the moment shit that's just time sensitive. You're gonna want that. You post that shit now.
Right.
Good quality. You know what I mean? Like, because you're gonna be one of a few that's gonna have this opportunity.
Right, and I think on the first show back at the MGM.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'm the first weekend back. So it's just going to be strange all around. I saw...
Do you know who's on the show with you?
Nah. I saw Shub. I got to look at the website. I forgot to look. I saw Shub. Shub did a parking lot show, and he had somebody was taping him from behind the stage. Then he went up on the stage. It was... I don't know what he heard, but I couldn't hear cars. And there was like this, almost like a 2-lane road between him and the first row of cars. Uh-huh. So he gets on stage and he starts talking, not even 10 seconds, in a car, right between him and the other cars. And I was like, it just didn't sound fun.
No, can't be fun.
It didn't sound it, man, and I couldn't watch anymore because it made me uncomfortable. I was like, I gotta get off.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be comfortable waiting to have live audiences. Like I said, if I gotta put on a show for 30 people in a field somewhere, but we're live in the same place, that's what I'll have to do. Like, you guys all Venmo me $5, $10, whatever you want.
Yep,
I'm gonna do a show.
Right.
You know, we're just gonna bring it. We're gonna have speakeasy shows. Ain't gonna tell the government.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice underground shows, man. Prohibition times. But I will be back soon. But go see Mike if you're going to be in Vegas, man. That's going to be a big night. First show back at the MGM Grand.
Yes,
Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. You won't. Let me tell you something. If anyone will be able to be funny in the moment about what's going on, it's Mike Gaffney.
Thanks, man.
So definitely go check him out. Hey, guys, we'll be back live on Wednesday. So please come join the chat Wednesday with us. We had a lot of fun. You've been listening to All in Our Heads. If this will ever switch. It didn't work. Oh, my God. The ending didn't happen. Now we...